Welcome back. Demand for luxury goods and services in the Asia-Pacific region is expected to grow an average of 12% a year over the next several years. And discretionary spending among affluent people is expected to grow by more than 75% by 2015. Reporter Tessa Arcia takes a look at what some are doing to take advantage of that situation.
Paris, New York, London, Milan. Cities where the biggest events of the luxury fashion industry take place. Hong Kong wants to be a member of that club. Debuting in Hong Kong in 2007, the MasterCard Luxury Week is the first consumer-oriented luxury fashion gala in Asia. It brings together top couture collections with the aim of creating a buzz among potential customers.
We love fashion and we want to see what Donna Karan has got this season.
Well, every girl's really into fashion, so when I got the invite, I was totally excited.
I saw La Perla lingerie. It's very, very nice, very sexy and all that. And the music was good, yeah, I really enjoyed.
The big fashion events that we're used to seeing in the media, London, Paris, Milan, New York, are primarily trade shows where the designers are showing their clothes to buyers and to the media.
The Luxury Week, however, showcases collections directly to customers. When deciding on the location, the organizer says Hong Kong was an easy choice.
It really is the center for luxury brand shopping in Asia Pacific.
In a Nielsen Global Luxury Brand Survey in 2008, Hong Kongers were found to be the most brand savvy in Asia, with shoppers spending an average of 6,000 Hong Kong dollars on designer goods every 3 months. 40% of Hong Kong consumers say they've shopped for luxury brands versus an average of 15% in the Asia-Pacific region. Fashion shows and other branding efforts are just one part of the equation. At the end of the day, what really matters is how these translate into sales, and that takes more than just a runway walk.
The two, returns on investment that designers are looking for is, if I spend, $100 putting on a fashion show, what's my return at the cash register? And also, too, am I going to be able to generate publicity about my brand?
Mira Ye, a familiar face in Hong Kong's social scene, is the kind of shopper luxury designer brands hope to catch. She has no qualms about spending $20,000 to $30,000 for a single piece of clothing.
I'm a destination shopper. When I go in a store, I know what I want, I try on it, fits, and I buy it. When I choose a product, I like exclusive. And by exclusive, I don't just mean expensive.
And when she's paying big bucks, she expects highly trained and knowledgeable staff.
The most common question that I would be asking in a store would be what's new for the season, and they should be able to give me an overview of what's coming in the store and the things that I would like. And I think that's very important. That customer, when they walk in, they might only spend 5 minutes. If you don't give them things or the knowledge or the information that they're looking for, they just go out of the store.
But Hong Kong residents aren't the only ones burning cash here.
23 million visitors to Hong Kong.
More than 50% of luxury retail sales are made to those visitors, about 33,000 of whom come each day from the mainland, replacing the once dominant Japanese shoppers.
The big advantage that Hong Kong has, of course, is it doesn't have the luxury tax. And so, there's a 25 to 30% difference in pricing between here and what you're seeing in mainland China.
The consumer in China is very aspirational. They're very driven by status. So they want to use luxury brands to show their status, the fact that they've made it, that they're wealthy. The reason why China is so interesting as a market is that you can see the average disposable income going up.
There are now 250 million mainland Chinese in the middle income bracket who are becoming consumers of luxury. Disposable income per capita among urban households on the mainland rose by 18% to 13,876 renminbi a year, while per capita consumption expenditure stood at 12,667 renminbi, a year-on-year increase of 14.7%. Figures like these are enough to lure the big fish.
In the last few years, there has been a bit of a gold rush to bring your brand into China. And I guess a few people who've gone in will probably now realise that it's not as easy as it perhaps looked to start with.
There are several things to keep in mind.
One of the issues that luxury retailers have to face in China is that there is a shortage of top quality retail staff. So when you're trying to sell a $20,000 watch, you need somebody who can explain why it's worth $20,000. The cost of advertising is expensive in China, and because it's quite a fragmented market, you really need to have your advertising budget split by market. Retail space can be very expensive as well, particularly if you're looking for a very prime site in one of the cities. The bureaucracy of dealing with all these various departments, you need to pay attention to that as well.
And while a number of international brands is busy setting up on the mainland to get a piece of the new rich pie, others are taking more indirect routes.
Macau, along with Hong Kong, both represent the best portal into China. China is an amazing luxury consumption story, and as a luxury developer, we were very interested to get exposure to the Chinese consumer.
Morgan Parker is president of Taubman, a developer of shopping centers in the United States. They've just unveiled plans to build Macau Studio City, the shopping center component of a $2.5 billion development on the Cotai Strip, scheduled to open in 2011. With about 600,000 square feet of leasable space, the two-tier shopping mall will be built around a casino resort and will house 140 stores of top-notch luxury brands.
When you research the Chinese consumer, you discover that they're actually a tourism consumer. They don't actually really consume luxury in China in the same way that they consume it when they're outside of China.
Mainlanders can no longer enter Macau via Hong Kong without a separate visa. But Parker is unperturbed by this.
We focus very much on the structural elements of an economy. The cadence of what we do is huge cycles. It's fundamentals. It's the rising of wealth in this part of the world. Big macro changes that are taking place in society, the way people are living and behaving.
In 2006, mainland Chinese tourists made 34.5 million outbound journeys compared with just 12.1 million in 2001. And of those who've traveled, 90% buy luxury goods. Macau may be gearing up to become the next shopping destination, but few see it as a threat to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong is still an important part of the China strategy for many luxury companies. And I mean, one of the reasons for that is Hong Kong is still the #1 destination for traveling overseas.
Yeah, I like to think that a rising tide lifts all boats. And Macau rising is going to create a twin city scenario here, which is going to make Hong Kong and Macau collectively not only a powerhouse of financial services, which Hong Kong is, but it's also now going to become Asia's tourism and leisure destination as well. I don't think people should be fearing that relationship, but rather celebrating it.
Rising spending power and an influx of investment from the luxury industry eclipse the fact that a global economic slowdown has hit major consumer markets, such as America and Europe. Government statistics show retail sales in Hong Kong and mainland China continue to grow at 13.8% and 23.3% respectively.
If you're extremely wealthy, spending $10,000 US on a bag is neither here nor there. Even though you may have lost multi-millions in the stock market, perhaps it's you can't afford the new car, you can't afford the new house or the new apartment, but you can still afford the bag.
Any comments, you can email us at moneymag@tvb.com.hk. And that's Money Magazine for this week. Thanks for watching. Good night.
just like to inform our viewers that you can catch this edition of Money Magazine again on Wednesday late night at 1:30 a.m.